All right, Guru Nation, you're in for a special treat, guys and gals. Actually, I should say gals and guys mostly. You're in for a treat. It's not just anybody here standing next to me right here. It's Monica Quitiva, Monica Paola Quitiva, the CRC Academy co-founder, along with myself and Chris. It's Monica. She's the co-founder, and she's also the teacher, the instructor. We're here. My own niece, well, she's not my blood. She's my niece through my wife. But my own family is in this academy. That's how important it is. That's how I think we're creating something of value. It's not just, guys, it's not just about learning. Here's what pisses me off. I'm going to get angry right here, Monica. Excuse me for a second. Okay? I get angry because people that email me with zero experience, okay, no experience in research, they want to be coordinator. I understand. They email me, Dan, please, I need a cheat sheet for my interview. I need a cheat sheet for my interview. What questions they're going to ask me. I get this email maybe once a week. It irritates me every time I get it. I reply angry back. Guy, you can't memorize if you don't know something. What good is it going to be? There's like a million variations in research, a million things. How are you going to memorize all of this? You can't. And Monica, we've done this for like 2 years, CRC Academy. You've seen the exceptional students. You've seen the average. You've seen below average. So I wanted to ask you, what are some common traits of the above average students? Do they memorize or do they learn?
They actually learn. And not just that, but for example, when we have a live class, right? So the students, first of all, see the module, and then what I tell them is write down the questions or write down the topics that you will want to get in depth in the class. The average student or the below average never does that. The good student, the one above average, is the one that always asks questions, challenge me in class. When they do the assignments, we don't have many assignments, but we do have some that are challenging too. When they do it, they just ask a lot of questions. So if somebody is going to get in any industry, obviously right now we're talking about clinical research, you need to ask questions. You need to learn. It's not like a blink of an eye and then all of a sudden you are a professional expert.
I'm hoping that my niece, Alima Navarrete, I'm hoping you're listening right now, right? Because I need you. I don't hope. I need you to be one of the above average. Please help me out. Monica's gonna be tough on you, Alima. I told her not to treat you like family. You regular student. Okay, so what separates the average, which is not bad, average either, from the below average?
That they at least participate in class. They at least watch the modules and then go to class, to the live class, and not just all of a sudden then next week, 2 weeks later, I watched the recording and I don't understand this. Like, I mean, later on, I mean, if you're full on, if you are if you want to really succeed, you should start when you are getting the training.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you expecting people to do for you? I mean, even if we're right now with the class, we're handing you all the information and all the things that you need to be successful, all the tools. It's now your responsibility to succeed. It's now your responsibility to be a good one. If you want to be average or below average, that's your choice. right? If you want to be, if like we usually, and actually you mentioned this a lot. If you want exceptional results, you need to do exceptional efforts, right?
Yep. Yep.
And especially if you are investing money and time in a new career, give the best of yourself. Don't try, do it.
Now, the good news is, okay, if you haven't been putting in massive action, massive effort, some people, some students are actually above average, but because life happens at the wrong time, they appear average or below average. That's understandable. The good news is you can change that quickly, right? With enough time, the cream rises to the top. So, we do have some students that have emergency life happens, right? So we're not talking about those ones. We're talking about the people that they don't have any issues at the moment and they are trying to take the easy route. It doesn't work that way, guys. Like you have to put in the effort. So what are some things they can do? Maybe they're not a student, maybe they're just somebody watching right now wants to be a coordinator. What are some things they can do to put themselves besides join CRC Academy? Let's not make this an infomercial. What can they do to better their chances to appear like they are above average? Everybody wants to appear above average when they interview. So what are some of the things they can do to
Well,
improve their chances?
I think the first thing that they can do is watch your 5 hour crash course,
We love that. Yeah.
100% free, 100% free. And then on top of that, start looking at, like, for example, they can go to the FDA and check out all the information available for clinical trials. They can go to NIH and look and read all the information for that. They can also read your book. I mean, obviously, I know this is not advertisement, but what can we do, right? We have all the tools. And then on top of that, they can also expose themselves to clinics. Like, I mean, there are many ways that they can start this career. And some clinics are willing to give you training. Not everybody does, but some clinics will. So if knocking the door doesn't mean that it's going to be open immediately, but in some point it will, right? If you want to take that road, then obviously you need to make the effort, and you can start by, for example, um, recruiting patients, which is one of the, it's a challenging part, but it's a great way to start because you're gonna learn a lot. That's actually how I started.
Yeah,
Um,
that's how you started.
yeah. Then they can also do like, oh, there another way that is kind of similar is by screening patients. So then you have to learn how to read the protocol, the inclusion exclusion criteria, and know the basics about it. And that's also in your crash class, in your crash course, 5 hours crash course. So you can also start screening patients for a clinic. And that's something that is also, I mean, kind of basic.
So I want the truth from this question I'm about to ask you. We just talked about above average, average, below average. So actually, before I ask you this, okay, this guy I just interviewed, Calvin, didn't take any of our courses. He didn't just watch the video. He's above average, and he's never been in our course, but he's above average. Here's what happened. He didn't just watch the 5 hour video, which is free. He watched it 5 times. The first 2 times without notes. The next 3 times with notes. He showed me a notebook like this thick of what he wrote down. When he didn't know something else, he Googled further. That's what we're talking about. So what Monica just said, look, if you're going to interview for a site and they do central nervous system disorder studies, you need to go on PubMed, Google Scholar, and start reading clinicaltrials.gov. Start reading studies right? At least know the assessments, know the inclusion, exclusion criteria, know the primary and secondary assessments, endpoints. So you know at least the language of the studies that they're doing. And an interviewer can tell within 2 minutes somebody who's prepared versus somebody who's not, somebody who put the time to learn about the company. I mean, when you go interview for a company, it's not a mystery who you're going to interview. It's not like they blindfold you and you just show up and you don't know which company it is. You
Not a
have the
blind
name
date.
of the company, not a blind date. You know. So this is where I don't want you to lie or exaggerate, just the truth. From the above average students, you've done this now for 2 years. Do you see them getting hired faster than the others? Is it a yes?
Oh,
Absolutely.
100%. Absolutely. 100%. Because the
Have
one
you
that
ever
is
had an above average student that took longer to get hired than an average or a below average?
no, and I tell you why.
Wow.
Because once you are a hustler to learn, you are a hustler to find a job.
I see.
So
see.
they are committed. If they are committed to their career, they are looking for a job. I actually have to mention that I even had students that started the class overseas, and their aim was to move to United States with a working visa, and they have achieved it.
So even throwing in the immigration aspect. So
Part.
to you, without a doubt,
Yeah.
because for me with CRA Academy, I have seen sometimes, usually you're right, but sometimes I've seen like the above average, or at least the students I think were above average, struggle to get jobs, whereas others got it. And a lot of that had to do with location, who they knew. But eventually, if given enough time, those above average students end up getting hired. But you're saying 100% of the time, the above average, they don't have problems.
Yeah, no. Because, for example, I was thinking that that particular student, the one that was from overseas and then came and got the visa. I mean, she was applying and applying and applying until a company
Do I know her?
hire her. No, but we're going to interview her. So
Oh,
until a
okay.
company hire her, and because she was that great, they actually when they way are out to give her the H1 or L1, whatever working visa.
H1, yeah. So what? Okay, break it down. We're gonna interview her. This is a good teaser for our next. So we're going to interview her, right? She said yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it about her? Give me like 5 specific things that made her so good to wear.
Okay, well, she had a lot of also, she had a great background. She is a doctor from overseas. She speaks fluent English and Spanish.
Okay.
Um, she had a little background in research.
Where in overseas was she?
Ecuador.
Wow, okay.
Okay. But not just that, it's just like like she was that kind of a student that in every single class she was asking questions. If she wasn't sure about something, she will send me an email or a message asking me to explain a little further that specific topic. She went a way to find out which state was more convenient for her.
Really?
What was the job opportunities.
Where did she end up moving?
It's in Florida.
Ah, okay, okay. A lot of sites in Florida.
Yeah, Spanish and English. I mean, and then her specialty also helped her, and now she has that, and her plans are in some point become accredited here as physician, right, and open her own
Oh, so
site.
she wants to go residency and all that stuff. She wants to do the International Medical Graduate ECFMG. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in some point, uh, she started receiving offers from other clinics because she was looking very, I mean, like she
So
was
she was able to get
determined.
sponsored by a site because she was so good. The site didn't know her.
Mm-hmm. She was determined. She
You
went.
helped. Did you help to introduce?
I introduced her to one. I mean, I mentioned her one site,
Okay,
and I was going to introduce her, but before I did, she did it herself. So that's what I'm telling you.
I see.
This
I
lady
see.
is just so it's just a matter of really wanting and get that determination to really do whatever you want to achieve. And this works in every single area of your life.
Man, I
If you
can't wait
if
to interview her.
if you're lazy to do things, that's exactly what you're gonna get. Those efforts are going to be reflected in your life.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're expecting the job to go and knock the door your house, that I mean that's not gonna happen, right?
Mm-hmm,
Uh,
mm-hmm.
but again, we make it easier for people that wants to have a career right now with our class. We give it's 3 months class, then 6 to 10 weeks of externship actually because it's remote. And I mean at the end, and not just that, but on top of that, our students have get the class for their CV to create an outstanding CV, and also for linking and tips for interviews. So at the end of the program, you're gonna have all the practical knowledge because our classes don't have any fillers.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we teach in classes, this the information
It's
that
I
you
tell
need to
people all
know.
the time when they ask about CRC Academy, I say, look, you are going to, even though you may not, you are going to know how to run the site, all aspects of it, financial, recruitment, training, actually doing the studies, interacting with monitor. You're going to learn everything you need to learn about site. You can own your own site.
From A to Z. Yeah. So at the end of the program, they will be 100% ready to work.
Okay.
And not just that, but they keep the class recordings for a long time, so they can watch this class recording until their
For
eyes
life. So
bleed.
far for life. So far for
Exactly.
life. I have another question I'm going to ask you because I actually don't know the answer to this one. Even with the CRA Academy, I only interact with students through the internship. So I'm not really sure. You teach, unlike me in the CRA Academy, I don't teach just the internship, but we have another teacher who does that, just like you for the CRC Academy. Is there any correlation between the above average students and their intelligence? Is that like a factor?
To be honest, Dan, I think it's a matter of determination because you're the designer of your own destiny. If you want, like we were mentioning, if you want outstanding results, you need to do outstanding efforts. And
Okay.
if if I can have the smartest student in class, but if they are extremely lazy, guess what the results are gonna be?
Have you had that?
uh I actually had one, yes. uh Very
Wow.
smart guy, incredibly smart, with a medical background too, another doctor, but he was always expecting things to be handed, like the assignments. And actually, basically,
Huh.
I like the students to do their assignments. So sometimes I send reminders, but in some point you feel that you're babysitting, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's not my job.
No.
So so if you have a medical practitioner from overseas or from wherever, not everybody's a doctor. I mean,
That's good. I'm
right?
glad you brought that up because
So
there's two students. One, they're both foreign medical doctors, but one had, what do you call it? Um I wouldn't want to say ambition because they both had of ambition. One was
Determination.
determined, okay.
Mhm.
Determined to do what it takes. The other one,
Eh,
maybe thinking that maybe entitled a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. And I think sometimes people or students think that after they pay the class, then the jobs are gonna just drop in in their emails or their house. Somebody's gonna knock the door and offer them a job. And obviously we are giving you all the tools, but it's your responsibility to go out there and get the job. We also give you the tools to have to create an outstanding CV, to do an outstanding interview.
We have Ashley
But
Margot doing the CVs for you guys.
exactly, but we cannot do
Included,
the
included.
exactly, but we cannot do the interview for the student.
Right, right.
We cannot go and look for a job for the student. So we get job opportunities
All the time,
because
all the time.
a lot of organizations reach out to us and we share it with the students. But it's again it's the students' responsibility to go and find their job and make a successful career.
All the
Um,
time we get those jobs, especially now in 2021, going into 2022. It's busy. It's
yeah, I
busy,
mean,
guys.
the students that truly go and look for a job, 95% of them, before they finish the class, they already have a job.
What? How many?
95%, the ones that hustle, the ones that start looking
Oh, okay.
before the class
The above
finish,
average.
exactly, or the ones that are like really determined, because I even have a students in the past that I had a student that she had two jobs. She was a mom, a single mom with small children, and she still managed to be a good, if not great, student.
Hmm.
She was not able to be every single live class, but she was watching the videos, she was reviewing the modules, she was sending me messages. And I don't mind to help anybody, especially somebody that is really determined to do it. And you see they are making the effort, that they are really truly wanting to succeed. Why not, right? I just I help them. And this student is, before we actually finished, she already had a career, a job in clinical trials.
Hmm.
So
Wow. There you go. So good news for everybody. You don't need to be extremely intelligent. You don't need to um I think that's you don't need to even live in the US according to the example you gave
no,
to work
they
in the
don't
US.
they don't need to have a medical background, because they don't. I just these two examples
That's
were
another good
doctors,
point. Yeah.
but you don't need to have a medical background to join this industry. All you need is determination and really wanting to break through in this industry.
Yeah. I would just think that everyone who joins the CRC Academy is determined. But you're saying there's various levels of this determination.
Mhm.
Or maybe some join thinking that they can just pay and they don't have to do the work because they paid for it.
That happens. Not
Yeah.
often,
Yeah.
not often, but I have seen.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well,
I mean, I push a lot
yeah,
because
you're
I
a
want the
motivator.
students because I want
You're
the
a
students to
motivator.
succeed, and I tell them, if you don't succeed, it's because you don't want to, because we're handing you everything, so it's your choice.
Yeah. Huh. I think, yeah, if you don't succeed, yeah, I guess you're right because we do basically set up everything for them. Even in CRA Academy, it's the same thing. We do the internship. I can tell in CRA Academy, based on the first monitoring report I receive, if somebody's in above average, average, or below average, based on how detailed their IMV report is. I mean, I don't even need to talk to them. I just email your report. I can see within 2 minutes too of the reading the report. So I think it translates to, across different field, not just coordinator, but
Yeah.
CRA, whatever.
I have another example. I have a student that one of the assignments we have is to review a source document, right? So we give the student a template. We create
Very
a template.
practical. Very
Yeah.
practical.
We create a template. We give the student the schedule of events and the
Yeah.
inclusion exclusion criteria, so they can review it and see if this template is correct, or if it needs any information to be added or removed, whatever. And then one of my students reached out to me and she said to me, I know the assignment is this, but can I just create my own source document? I really want to be hands-on in it, and she did it. So that tells me that she really wants to be proactive and truly go hands-on. I mean, obviously the assignment was hands-on, but she did it even more. She went a mile ahead, and she told me she wanted to learn because she's planning on starting in that direction. So
Wow.
so she wants to offer that service to some sites. So that's why she wanted to do it in that way.
Oh, is that Olga?
No,
We interviewed Olga. She was doing something similar to that.
actually that was
Making
Inga.
Inga,
Inga,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry. Olga's Olga's somebody else I was interacting with recently.
yeah,
Inga, that's right. That's
yeah.
right.
Well, we have another student
And
like
we
her.
interviewed her too.
Yeah, exactly. So we have another student that she wants, because I told them in class,
Mm,
that's another way to do it, and actually that can be your own business.
wow.
And she actually, oh, I want to do it, and now she did that. So
And if you
um,
think about what they're doing, they're actually learning. It's a deep learning because they have to create their own process, right? So it's like they force themselves to learn more. And by the way, that's opportunity because all those things that are the fundamentals, like making a source document or making a pre-screening script or a form, all those things are that sites need those things, but they don't want to do it because it's kind of a pain to do it. So now
mhm,
you can go not just learn it from the class, you can translate it to getting a
business.
job.
Mhm. And she can actually have a side hustle business with that, because
Yeah, side hustle.
she can create a source document for one clinic, and then she does the job once and then call the other ones and see who's interested. More often
Man,
than not, a
wow,
lot of the clinics will be, right, and they
wow.
probably will ask you to modify one thing here and there. And even the companies that create electronic source document will be interested in hiring somebody like that, because they
Oh
still
yeah.
have to create those. So
So it's November 1st, 2021 for those watching in the future. Um, when did we start the November class?
29, November 29,
Ooh,
Monday,
right after
November
Thanksgiving.
29. Yep.
Halima, I know how many students do we have so far?
We have almost full house.
So Halima's one of many. Halima, you better do a good job here. No pressure, but you better. When
No
I talk to
pressure, but
Monica
she's
in when I
also
talk to
live.
Monica in February, you better be above average.
She already is. She reached out to me.
I told her to reach out. Let's see. Let's see. But she did. That's good. Okay. So links to the CRC Academy underneath, the links to Monica's LinkedIn underneath this video and on the podcast. I didn't intend for this to be this long, but it's gonna be a podcast now too. So excellent answering questions. They were not easy questions, Monica, to answer, but you did a good job.
Yeah, thank you. Feel free to reach out. Everybody out there that wants to learn more about clinical trials, not just about the CRC Academy, but in general, we're here to help.
Get out there and be above average. And guess what? You could be above average work ethic, right? Nothing's required except the work more.
Yeah.
So
Don't try. Do it.
do
All
it.
day, every day, as Dan shirt says.
All right, got the nice shirt. Got the shirt going on. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, listening. Thank you very much, Monica. Good luck
Thank
to
you,
everybody.
Dan.
Catch y'all later. Bye bye.